This is Janvi Mahendru. Hi, this is Janvi Mahendru and you're watching OneCricket Live, and today we're going to discuss about the bowling lineup of the top 6 teams going ahead of the World Cup. So, coming to you, what do you think about the teams and which bowling lineup do you think is very strong enough?
Seeing the top 6 teams in that are participating in the World Cup, I would say the strongest bowling lineup belongs to Pakistan because they have a lot of variation in it. We have Shaheen Afridi in the form of a left-arm pacer. We have Naseem Shah, who swings the ball at the beginning. Then we have Shadab Khan, who can come handy with his leg spins, and Mohammad Nawaz with his left-arm spinners. So it looks a well-shorted bowling lineup for me. It's the best for me.
Personally, for me, it's not Pakistan, it's going to be New Zealand, because for a long time they have always have a solid bowling unit that revolves around Trent Boult, Tim Southee, Lockie Ferguson, and then Adam Milne coming in as the fourth option, and then you have 3 great spin bowling options in Ish Sodhi, Mitchell Santner, and Michael Bracewell. That is also a great option when it comes to the bowling. Maybe not in the home conditions since they are playing in Australia, but they are apt. They have played on those conditions. Most of their players are viable to that areas, and I think that they could really come up on top against a lot of batting units.
Do you also think that the batters of Pakistan and the bowlers of Pakistan have enough idea of the Australian pitches playing the Big Bash League?
That is fair enough to some extent because not all their players were involved.
Yeah.
Yes, some players were involved. Haris Rauf had a great stint there, but not every player of Pakistan that is going to be participating in the World Cup was involved in the Big Bash League. So it is there for some players, but not for everyone. What are your thoughts?
But I think that the last year's World Cup, we saw how Pakistan performed as a unit.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is their leader, Babar Azam.
Yeah.
He knows how to marshal his troops well. So I think Pakistan has an advantage over the other teams if only bowling is considered.
Yeah. I also agree with him because I also feel that if you see Shadab Khan also, he was the highest wicket taker last year in the World Cup.
For Pakistan.
So, yeah, for Pakistan, yeah. So I think so that the bowling lineup for Pakistan is very strong enough to defend their team. So also along with that, other than Pakistan, what do you think?
So if we talk about the second spot according to the bowling lineups, I would go with South Africa. See a bowling unit which has 3 pacers who can bowl over 140. You are not such a compact bowling lineup it is. You are not getting a place for Marco Jansen.
Yeah.
And then you have Tabraiz Shamshi, left arm Chinaman bowler, very rare in cricket, and with him Keshav Maharaja, bowling left arm orthodox. So there is also quite a bit of variety, just like Pakistan. They also have a very good variety, and they look well composed, well balanced. So for me, the second team is South Africa.
Their pace attack is really good.
Yes.
You have Rabada in there, you have Notkia in there, you have Nigidi in there, you have Jansen in there. But my issue is with the spin department. Both Maharaj and Shamsi for me are not the perfect T20I bowlers that you need in that shortest format. The Indian tour kind of exposed their weakness when playing against the Asian teams. For me, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and India are 3 teams that can easily hammer their spinners. So for me, they would rather slip to the 3rd or 4th space, and Australia, the home team, would come into the 2nd spot because they have been playing in those conditions. They have the perfect lineup. Cummins will lead that attack. Stark is there. You have Josh Hazlewood, who for me is at the moment one of the best bowlers in the shortest format of the game. He knows his line and length. He has picked up those wickets. He has been getting his success across the globe. He had a great session with RCB in the IPL.
Sorry to interrupt you, but since you said that Shamshi and Keshav Maharaja is not that well adapted to T20I cricket, I would just like to remind you that at present Shamshi is the 4th ranked T20I bowler.
But also, do you agree that Josh Hazlewood is number 1?
Yes, Josh. Yes, of course. That coming to the Australian bowling lineup, I would rank them the 3rd after South Africa.
Yeah.
But since he said that Shamshi and Maharaja don't fit into the T20I format that much. So I just want to remind you
But then again, stats are not everything, because there are two bowlers that come in as a tandem.
Yeah.
So it's not every time that rankings are everything. I'll be very sure with that. In my point, I'll stick to myself. They have a great pace lineup. They are perfect when it comes to the setting, but their spin lacks in a few areas. Australia are the second place when their bowling department comes up. Then maybe it could be South Africa at number 3 and Pakistan at number 4 for your own the viable points. My worry is Shaheen Shah Afridi is coming off an injury. I'm not sure how well he will perform, because it's never easy for a quick that is coming off an injury to give his best.
Okay, so I would say that in case of a bowler like Shaheen Shah Afridi, you don't wait for him finding his form and other things. He's a genuine threat. Whenever he is in that team lineup, he is a genuine threat to the opposition.
I think so. He's the X factor for
Yes, of course. And when India will be playing against Pakistan in their first encounter, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul and Virat Kohli, be very aware of Shaheen Shah Afridi.
So you are just going what happened a year ago, and you are...
No, I am not just going by what happened a year ago. I am going by these 3 players struggling against left-arm pacers.
That is true. Let's just switch the scenario around. How do you think the Indian unit compares to these teams?
There is a massive weakness in the Indian bowling setup, and that has been caused due to the injury of Jasprit Bumrah. The death overs. Arshdeep is doing well, but we don't have a supporting bowler who could accompany
in the death over.
Yes,
and
of course.
especially seeing the struggles which Bhuvneshwar Kumar is going.
We had a talk yesterday where we talked about the death struggles for India. See, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, I said that yesterday as well. For me, he is a very risky man at the moment. I know he has done really well for India in the past few years, but backing him in this stage where he's lacking some momentum, which is heavily needed coming into such a major tournament, it could be a big threat for India.
I would say that India can go with a plan that Bhuvneshwar Kumar is being used within the first 6 overs, because his record in 2022 within the power plays is the best. So go with Bhuvneshwar Kumar, finish his 3 overs within the first 6 overs, and keep Arshdeep for the death. You just need to find another bowler
I
with
think so. They
Arshdeep.
should strategize in a way that they're using Bhuvneshwar in the firstly with the new balls, because we know he's good with the figures when it comes to the new balls. But yes, of course, that is, you can't deny the reality that he's been struggling in death overs, and we
Especially
can't
the
risk,
19th.
yeah,
Especially the
19th. And we can't risk such a big tournament, because we have seen in the previous tournaments in the Asia Cup as well.
Yes.
Let's just rank these teams if you're like we did before. For you, it's definitely Pakistan at number 1.
If I am going for the top 6 teams, if you are talking about the top 6 teams, I would say that number 1 bowling lineup. Number 1 is Pakistan. Number 2 is South Africa. Number 3 is Australia. Number 4 is New Zealand. And I will give you a reason why New Zealand is at number 4. I think that apart from Tim Southee and Trent Bolt, the others, yes, I know that they have a lot of variety once again, but I think Santner and Bracewell would not be that effective in the Australian pitches where there is more bounce. So number 4 for me is New Zealand, and number 5 for me is England, and number 6, I think, who am I missing out?
India, obviously India.
The last ranked team.
Okay, so there's a question from YouTube Live, and this person is asking, does India have Shaheen Shah Afridi like bowler in the current squad? If yes, then who will play that role for Team India?
What are your thoughts? I'll add later. What are your thoughts?
I would say Shaheen Shah Afridi like bowler is not present in the Indian setup at present.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a left-arm pacer in Arshdeep Singh, but they are 2 very different bowlers. Arshdeep is well adapted with his cutters, Yorkers, and he is also getting swing nowadays.
Yeah.
But Shaheen Shah Afridi is a different pedigree at present. Arshdeep has a lot to do.
See, completely agree to your point. Shaheen Shah Afridi at this moment is a far better bowler compared to Arshdeep Singh, because both of them have 2 different roles, as you said before. Shaheen comes in the first few overs, and his responsibility is to get rid of the openers as soon as possible. For Arshdeep, it's a different role. He has to come in and has to try to keep the runs as low as possible or defend the target. So you can't compare a bowler like Arshdeep Singh, but answering the question, that is, no, India does not have a bowler that is like to Arshdeep Singh. My bad, Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Yes, of course.
And then there is a poll also. So who will be the top wicket taker for Pakistan? Will it be Shaheen Shah Afridi or will it be Haris Rauf?
This is a very...
What are the ongoing votes at the poll at the moment?
So there are 13 votes. I can't figure it out, which is the leading one. But what's your opinion? Like, let's take your opinion.
So I would say that among Shaheen Shah Afridi and amongst these two bowlers, amongst Harish Rauf and Shaheen Shah Afridi, I would say that of course Shaheen Shah Afridi will be the top wicket taker for Pakistan, because given the fact that yes, Harish Rauf has a lot of pace in him, but Afridi has a lot of more variety. I think he will be more useful in the Australian conditions.
I'm going completely out of the box here. I wouldn't pick either of these two. Okay. For me, it's going to be Naseem Shah, because he had an exceptional Asia Cup. He performed really well, and other than Shaheen or Haris, I'd go with Naseem Shah.
So the young talent, Naseem Shah.
So the young talent. So he's backing up the young talent, because we have seen his performance. Yes. Undoubtedly, it's quite nice. And also, it's a personal question to you guys. What do you think that the team is going to be, with spin heavy or pacers heavy?
For which side?
Any side.
I think looking at the Australian pitches, yes, of course. When the matches are in SCG, there might be an added spinner. When the match is in MCG, there might be an added spinner because of the boundary dimensions.
Obviously.
Otherwise, we are going with a more pace-heavy attack.
Personally, I think most of the teams would rather have 4 pacers and a spinner.
Yes, of course.
But in case of India, I'm a little tad concerned as well. You could say concerned, but I'm sure Chahal is going to play.
Yes.
And then they will have Akshar or Ashwin, either of the two. Anyone has to play. So you'll be having 2 spinners, either of the conditions. I don't.
So as if means I am asking you both, if you are given the choice as a Indian team management persona, so who do you prefer, Akshar Patel or Ravichandran Ashwin?
I'll go with Ashwin. Yeah.
Ashwin.
Yes, of course. I would also go with Ashwin, but given the fact that the way Akshar Patel has developed his batting in the last 2 series, I think that might be Akshar.
I'll be very honest. Akshar Patel for me is a bits and pieces player. Based on a single inning, you can't judge if he can. I could say the same with Australian captain Pat Cummins, the Test captain. He has played some great innings, but can he finish the job? Can he get the job done? If you see the last match that he had against England, he had the game set for him. He could have done the job, but he couldn't, because he's not a player that's going to finish the job for you. That's the same with Akshar Patel or Ravichandran Ashwin. These are not the players that are going to finish the match. So keep bringing in these 2 players thinking with that mindset that they'll give you those overs and that they'll finish the match for you. That's not the thinking at all.
No, given the fact that Akshar Patel, the way he's batting, I would say that just not as a finisher, he's someone. India has that big problem of losing quick wickets in important matches. He can be that player who can bat a bit and save you the day. Might be.
Moving on from bowlers, guys, there is another demand, you can say, and they are saying that can we talk about the real king, Babar Azam? So the real king is gone. The tag has gone to Babar Azam from Virat Kohli.
See, he had a great knock today against Bangladesh. His side won, so congratulations to him. But there is no debate on that who's the real king. Everyone knows that the crown actually belongs to just a single player, and that's Virat Kohli. So despite whatever the performances Babar has over the years, he has done well, no doubt about that. He has been arguably one of the best batters currently in the format, but Kohli, no doubt about that.
I would, whoever has asked that question, I would just like to suggest that he may rephrase the name and tell that the real prince, because the king is Kohli. Babar has a lot of way to travel and become Kohli-like.
Okay, there is another question, and they're asking what is going on with Finch after that stump mic incident. I heard the ICC banned him.
So what are your thoughts on this? See, I'm not pretty sure what happened in that entire scenario, but if that is the case, I think that could be an issue for Australia. But then again, they have a great batting order. If that is actually the scenario, they might have a little bit of struggles, but they have a great batting scenario. They can fit Cameron Green, who comes in if Ashton Agar is ruled out, like the discussion we had before. But even if he misses out, they have a solid lineup.
No, I would say Aaron Finch, I don't know what is going on with him or within his mentality, but Aaron Finch as a skipper is irreplaceable at present in that Australian setup.
Yeah.
Might be he is failing as a batter, but I think the strategic acumen of Aaron Finch at present is irreplaceable.
Yeah, and then there is another question asked by Shakil, and he is saying that Mohammad Nawaz is also going to be a crucial player.
Mohammad Nawaz is going to be a very, very crucial player for the Pakistan setup because of his left arm spin bowling and his ability to bat. He has the ability to come out anywhere in that batting order. That gives extra dynamism and extra flexibility to that Pakistani batting order. So he is absolutely crucial to that setup, and whatever the distance Pakistan goes in this tournament, Nawaz will play a big part.
Just this, I'll bring the Akshar debate back here. Nawaz or Akshar?
Okay, so one of them is asking who is the Caribbean guy in the middle.
Caribbean guy. Back from Barbados, huh?
Yes,
Back?
yes, back from Barbados.
How was your West Indies
Yes, it
trip?
was a great trip.
Yeah.
I enjoyed with my brothers, Brevo and Pollard.
But then again, I'm bringing the question back. Akshar or Nawaz, what are your thoughts on these two? Because they bring great addition with the spin bowling. They can tonk. Akshar for me,
Means who is better? I would go with Nawaz.
Obviously, but
Because Nawaz has more experience also than Akshar Patel at present, and the fact is that he has performed in big matches. Akshar is yet to do that, so I would go with Nawaz.
And the last question we can take up here is that what will be the playing 11 for against India for Pakistan? And this is asked by Harsh.
so Pakistan's 11 or India's 11?
Pakistan's 11 against India.
Pakistan's
Yeah.
11. Okay, so Babar, in no particular order, Babar and Rizwan are definitely there.
Yes, of course.
Shan Masood comes in for me. He's definitely earned a spot for himself in that squad. And then you bring in, let's say, you bring in Nawaz and 4, and you have Harish there, so 5. You have Shaheen there, so that's 6. Naseem, that's 7, and you have Imad, I believe.
And you have the vice captain Shadab.
You have Shadab as well.
Yes.
So that is a guess. See, you can't particularly predict a full lineup of these players if what are they going to field, because every team is trying and testing their combinations what they want to field, right? Because India versus Pakistan is always the biggest fixture of the T20 World Cup. All the eyes are
Of all the cricket contests, it's
exactly.
the biggest.
It's the biggest
The
fixture.
biggest rivalry.
It's the biggest fixture, the rivalry, whatever you call it. It's always going to be on the mind of people. People are going to watch it, and the thing is, both teams have something to prove. Pakistan want to prove that what they did in the 2021 World Cup was not a fluke.
So on the 20th, sorry to interrupt you, on the 23rd of October, who will be your choice of bowlers as an Indian fan against that batting lineup? Where you can't, means Mohammad Rizwan at present is looking, he can't get out.
See, for me, the bowling lineup for India that I'm going ahead with is Arshdeep Singh, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Shami. I'm pretty sure he is going to be named as Bumrah's replacement. So he's the third bowler. You have Chahal as the fourth. You have Hardik in the mix. I'll go with one more additional name and bring in Harshal because he gives you those death overs ka speciality wala thing. So he's my fourth bowler, 4 special bowlers. Chahal coming in as your spin option and Hardik to give you those additional overs if needed. So this is my India's expected and predicted lineup.
I agree with you on these lines, but I think I would be missing a guy. That's Kuldeep Yadav. I think against Pakistan he would have been very effective. I feel so.
But then again,
It was a very, saddening statement by him that
Yes,
I'm not picked
being
up
ex
in
from
the
the team,
ODI,
yes.
but it's okay because the experts have selected the best.
Yes.
It was a diplomatic, but
And we all remember that delivery.
See,
where he got Babar Azam.
every player, if you take the scenario, a lot of players have done their best, and no player wants to miss out a spot for the biggest tournament. Everyone wants to play in the World Cup. all of them give their best for 4 years to deserve a spot into that playing in the squad of 15 and ultimately make into the playing 11.
Yes,
But ultimately it's up to the selectors to decide that these are my 15 men that I want to back, and they can bring the glory to the nation, right? So it's not just in the scenario of India, it could be any nation. All the players want to play the biggest tournament, but it's not just their performances. There might be team dynamics, there is team combinations, how you fit in players, the permutations, combinations, a lot goes into the selection.
Yes, of course. But still, I would miss that variety. That's what I wanted to say.
That's fair.
Yes.
But anyways, thank you for all the opinions and debates here, and thank you everyone from our live and our YouTube family for joining us.